In today's episode, I show you how to build the coveted Shelby Drop template. Okay, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to build a Shelby Drop template for a 65-66 Mustang. This drops the lower control arm 1 inch and moves it rearward 1/8 of an inch or 125 thousandths towards the rear of the car. It helps with the caster angle and the camera curve. Only takes a few simple tools really to make this template. Yeah, you can purchase them online for 15-20 bucks or whatever. I guess the biggest expense is going to be this 17/32 drill bit. Some people sell the templates with the drill bit in them. I can get them pretty cheap through Granger with a company discount, so it's not that it made more sense for me to build the template. Piece of sheet metal, you just use a scrap piece of sheet metal, or you can go out and purchase it. I bought this for like $5. It's a 20 gauge, I believe. You probably don't want to go any thinner than that. It's just going to be too flimsy and hard to drill accurately. So I'm going to cut to a picture of a template diagram, and we'll talk about how to lay this thing out. Okay, some of the simple tools you're going to need: straight edge, obviously stepped up side, drill bit stepped up inside, a scratch awl. I'm using a can of layout fluid. This is Dicom, works great. Spray it on, done. You can also get this in this stuff with a brush. Just takes longer to apply. Let's see. That's really about it, other than a drill. Okay, I've got this 6-inch steel rule that I use occasionally for helping to lay stuff out. So luckily, we talked about being a 1-inch drop. Luckily, this ruler is 1 inch and 18 thousandths wide. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that to draw my 2 parallel lines like we talked about in the diagram. So it's pretty simple. When you scratch across this Dicom, it'll leave a nice shiny line. Hold it tight to the, see there? Got it nice, easy to read, easy to see line for reference. And that is 1 inch and 18 thousandths apart. So this is real easy using this piece, right? So basically it's 3.75 inches to the center line of the upper control arm mounting bolts. So I'm going to mark this at, I'm still on my drawn lines. I'm going to mark this at 1 inch, right? And I'm going to add 3.75, so I'm going to come down here to 4 3/4. Oops, a little bad angle. I didn't see that real well. Off a little bit. So, okay, let's try that shit again. I totally botched it. Talking, trying to work around the camera. I just totally screwed it up. So I want to do this. Try to keep my fat hands out of the way. So talked about drawing the lines. God, fuck. Okay, I totally dicked that up. Trying to talk, work around the camera, keep my fucking meat hooks out of the way. Got it all jacked up. So let's do this. I'm going to work non-stop and talk as I go, instead of trying to cut and everything. So I'm going to draw my 2 lines on my 1 inch ruler, my 1 inch wide ruler. All right. Okay. Then I'm just going to use the 1 as my beginning reference. All right. So I'm going to come down here 3.75 inches to 4 3/4. Find that. And on the back side, Excuse me if my hands are in the way. I'm going to find 1 1/8, right? And I'm going to find 4 7/8. 3/4 and 1/8 is 7/8. All right. So there's my reference lines. So I'm going to slide this out of the way and we will dimple it. Okay. So here we go. This is right where I want to be. Just put a little bitty dimp there. Kind of feel where I started, right? So give it a little pump. Same here. All right, get my head in there so I can see. Give it a little poke right here. All right, so let's make sure we're 3 3/4 apart, right? It's 3 3/4. Here's the line. We're right on 3 3/4, and we have the 1 inch offset, or 1/8 inch offset, 125 thousandths. Okay. So I'm going to take my automatic center punch. This turret is from Home Depot. It's the only thing I could find in short notice. I could not find my good Starrett. So basically, these just work simply by you push down. It's got a spring and release. Makes a little dimple. I've got this set to, you can adjust the tension. Screw it all the way in. Leaves a big dimple. Just back it out. Leaves a light dimple. Put it somewhere in the middle for the sheet metal, because I don't want to dent it up too bad. Find my little mark I made with the awl. Bang. Got a dent there. Alright. Got my mark. Bang. Got my mark, or got my dimple. Find my divot. There. Slide this over a little so it's over the table. See, I'm in my dimple. There we go. All right, next step is to drill this out. Let's talk about drill bits we're going to use. This is the control arm bolt, and it is, I don't know if you can see that in the camera. The lighting's kind of shitty in here. So it's 497 thousandths. So our drill bit just needs to be a little bit bigger than 497 thousandths for clearance. You don't want it sloppy. So here we are at 499 thousandths. Okay. So that's just barely enough clearance. So I'm going to have to be pretty accurate on these holes in order for the template or the control arm bolts to fit in once the holes are drilled. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill these holes, right? And these are going to bolt into the frame of the car, or the shock tower of the car. And these holes, I'm just going to put a little bitty hole in it, a little bitty drill bit, smallest I can get, and that I can chuck up in my drill. So I'm going to use the automatic center punch to mark the car. I bought this piece of shit on eBay, right? So let's talk about what happens when you have too much clearance. It was cheap. I was like, oh, I was ordering some other stuff, so I'm like, all right, screw it. I'll just go ahead and order this. You can't have that much slop. There's, I forgot what that clearance was. It's like 5/8. So it's like almost an 1/8 inch clearance. Yeah, so that's a 5/8 hole. And this is less than 1/2 inch, or just barely over 1/2 inch. So you're talking an 1/8 inch play in this. So that's totally going to throw your holes off. You know, if these aren't located properly, these holes aren't going to be located properly, so your control arm is going to be off a little bit. So I'm going to take this little, I think this is a, what do they call it, a pin vise or whatever. I'm just kind of, where I made the punch marks with the automatic punch, Just giving it a little quick start. Just give the my cheap ass drill a little something extra to bite into, right? I don't have a drill press here, so what I've done, I normally do fabricate. We got a complete machine shop at work, so I normally do fabrication stuff at the shop at work. But it's Saturday, I don't feel like going in, and I don't want to shoot a video while I'm at work. The fucking heathens there ridicule me. So I'm gonna take my little bitty, it don't matter what size you can use, whatever you can chuck up. So these are my 1/8 inch holes, right? So let's mark those for reference. This is the bottom, this is the top, right? So we don't mess those up. Don't want to drill the big holes in the wrong spot. I guess it really don't matter because this template will work on both sides. But I'm gonna start by drilling. Let's start by drilling the big holes, because if I fuck those up, there's no sense to drilling the little holes, right? So here we go. Yes, it's a shitty drill. Okay, I'm through, right? This was given to me as a gift years ago. I just keep it on the workbench for doing little stupid shit. Like I say, the battery is years old and it still holds charge, so it can't be that bad, right? Alright, we got those done. Since I got this drill bit in, this is a drill bit that I'm not going to go any larger than this on these holes. You don't need to drill full speed. Moderate pressure. You know, this is a tiny bit, so you don't want to snap it. There we go. Alright, we're looking good. Let's double check our center marks here, just to make sure we're at 1 inch and 4 3/4, or 3 3/4 inch on center. We're looking like I might have got off just a nut there. Fuck. Yeah, it's off just a hair. Yeah, I think it'll be alright. Yeah, we're good. It's just an angle. Alright. So I'm going to step up to a next size drill bit. You don't want to go up too big at one time. You want to go up enough where you're not here all fucking day doing this too. So the tip on that, I didn't remove enough with that last one, or I removed enough with the last one so the tip will seat into that hole. All right, focus. So give it some quick bumps. See those big chips? It means it's cutting right. This sheet metal, you don't need to go super fast. All right. Oh yeah. Let's give her a good ream afterwards too. We'll ream it before we go up to the next hole size, so that she don't walk so much. I don't know if you can see that, getting a little chatter there in that drill bit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply a little more pressure, ramp up the speed. There, we're through. Yeah, this side's not clamped down, so it's trying to climb the drill bit. So I'm just going to take this little reamer. I might need to go with this. All right, kind of deburred it a little bit. Not scared to drag my finger over it. All right, go up the next size. Yeah, could probably go up a little bigger, but This is the one I have out. All right. Give it slow, keep it centered. Ah, did you see that climb? That sucks. Let me try to keep my finger next to this. You want to try to drill as straight as you can. This is thin sheet metal, but still. Alrighty. Let's ream this shit some more. Yeah, this one seems to be working a little better. Alright. Good there. Alright, since this is only a 3/8, this drill's only 3/8 chuck, obviously this big drill bit's not going to fit. This is 17/32, so the shank's been cut down so it'll fit my 1/2-inch drill. And my 1/2-inch drill is beast of a Milwaukee. Alright. So this fucker has been a workhorse for years. If you ever need a good drill and you want your wrist broke, this is the one to use. Can't find the handle. This fucker, get away from you, man. It's a beast. Alright. Yep. I'm gonna have to use a chuck on that. Tighten it up. So yeah, she caught a little bit. Damn it. Alright, let's try this one. Alright. Make sure you push it all the way through. Hopefully we do have a round hole. They have a tendency to leave a little bit of a non-round hole if you don't run the bit all the way through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill it just a little deeper. So to clean up the sides of the drill, can actually clean up the hole. There we go. Alright. Use a big room. Nice and clean. Let's check the other side. Clean off any burrs that may have occurred on the other side. Makes such a fucking mess working like that. Alright, pull this off. A little bit of burrage over here. Stick it back over my hole. Alright, that looks good. Let's just see how our bolt fits. So, look at that. Minimal play. That's the way you want it. Just a clearance hole. So, look at that. It's perfect. Focus. Look at that. That's good. Alright. We'll make sure we have enough of a hole. Well, might need to go a little bit bigger on that so I can get the tip through. So let's clamp this back down real quick. What do I do with my clamp? There it is. I'm just going to put one clamp on it. Alright. Go with a slightly larger drill bit. These are all my loose little number drills. Let's see, this one looks like it might be the right size. Yeah, I should be able to get that through there. Keep it pretty centered. Alright, drilling. go with the smaller reamer. See, on this backside, got a little bit of a blow through. Use this reamer. If this reamer is worth a shit. God damn it, piece of fucking shit. Okay. That'll get me. It'll keep me nice and. That'll keep me nice and centered in the hole. Close enough for government work, as they say. Okay. I'm going to do one little thing here. All right. Just smacking those little burrs down. Because my reamer's a turd. All right. All right, next step is going to be to cut this out. You can use whatever method you want to cut it out. I am going to use the cutoff wheel. Really don't matter where you cut it, as long as you've got enough to bolt to the car. Okay, got her cut out. She's not perfectly straight, but it don't really matter. What matters, these holes will line up with your control arm bolts. Let's take a gander. Here's my new control arm. Yeah, it's nice. Nice fit. So I'm gonna bolt that to the car, try to set up some video, and we'll drill some holes in the car. See you in a minute. Almost forgot to tell you. This template does both sides of the car, okay, right? So we're looking at, this would be the driver's side. Here's your bolts, 1 inch down, 1/8 inch back. So it's the driver's side, and this would be the passenger side. So look at it this way. Here's your mounting bolts. You notice these bolts are 1/8 inch back. So the passenger side, driver's side.